LEC2, the one with the pig slips?
The one with about a minute of pig slip.
Okay. Okay. What's our range limit on that?
I believe it's about 360 feet or so.
Okay. We got.
Rigid eyes, Space Telescope captain.
Houston, Endeavour has a firm handshake with Mr. Hubble's telescope.
We copy that, Cubby, and there are smiles galore down here.
It's quite a sight.
We can't wait to see
We
it.
are in drift mode, and Sunpoint is disabled.
Okay, and we see that.
Copy flight.
We see that, and just for the benefit of the rendezvous folks up there, your prop margins were well within what we predicted. Great work up there, you guys.
No flight pilots.
Go ahead.
We've lost PDI decom lock completely now.
Right, we see Claude correcting for attitude at the hover position. X, Y, and Z look good.
Copy.
I'm not going to touch the seal. Inside of the seal looks good.
Just moving across the equator on the northwest to southeast swing on the 43rd orbit of the mission. The crew well into the first task of the day, which is to change out 2 of the 3 rate sensor units. Each rate sensor unit is comprised of 2 gyroscopes.
Okay, so let's, I guess, go up to the very top one, Jeff, and bring it out to the hard stop with the Essex. What I really want to see is if I can, and we're going to try that, if that's okay.
AVA, copy.
Press on, Tom. If you've got a way to do it, do it.
All right. So you got the handle bolt.
There's another call.
Ooh. Almost like a bird, Tom. Look at it. See if I can still see it. There it goes. Back behind us. Looking back, Jeff, at the tail, the orbiter's 12 o'clock, the sun's at about 11 o'clock. Yeah, but you see what happens when I move over to the left. Roger. Sun's hitting right on the starboard side of HST.
Flight it.
Okay, that's a good height. Keep coming in. Roger. Okay, hello, Story. You happy? Yes. Okay, Claude, let's move back. Okay, Okay, moving back. Move away. Okay, move away. Okay, stop. I have a hand on the telescope. Stop. I have a hand on the handhold. Let me bring my rail in. I'm in 2 inches. I'm in 2 inches. Let's just do it. See what it's like pushing it in a little bit more. Okay, now I'm looking at the top.
EVA flying?
Flight EVA.
It's really clear.
The real business in there
We're
coming
clear
out.
by a foot and a half.
Yes, sir.
You are clear to pitch out. Let's come out. I'd rather have a little port to help me get on it. Well, I'll move it to port for you, Story. I want to be centered. Okay, okay, good. That's the way I'm exactly centered in the bay now. But me, I'm on it. Okay, keep it coming. We're going in the entrance. Just keep it coming. I'll go to the outside. Oop, oop, oop. Okay. Let me stabilize it. Okay.
Aboard Endeavour, Tom Akers and Kathy Thornton in the process of installing the new instrument, the COSTAR Corrective Optics Space Telescope Axial Replacement. The DOB that's referred to as the Deployable Optical Bench, that is the deployable optics package that will be deployed a little bit later after installation.
Too late. Stop. So just kind of fingertip at KT.
Come back to Bella.
Better too. When you level it out in KT, you see that your left end's down. That's good.
Flight payloads?
Go ahead.
HST is back into T format and 32 kilobits through the PDI. Yeah, flight payloads.
All the payloads community has confirmed that the onboard computer is in good health, and the payload community is in the process of checking out the new coprocessor, basically the upgrade to the computer, which basically will give it some more memory and also make computational inputs much faster. And once inside the airlock and the hatch is closed, the cabin atmosphere and the airlock will then be matched such that the inner hatch can be opened and they can climb back inside and get out of their spacesuits.
Really nice. Wow. All right.
Endeavour, you've got to go for release, and I have your backup sunpoint timer in it time when you're ready to copy.
Roger, copy, go for release, and KT's ready to copy. TIG SEP was 1 hour, 0 minutes, 22 seconds.
Copy, 1 hour, 0 minutes, 22 seconds, copy. And we have to say that through your superb efforts, you have really shown that NASA can do all that we promised to do and more, and we very much appreciate it.
The Hubble Space Telescope has been released from the robot arm. The orbiter is in a low Z separation maneuver away from the spacecraft. That is to ensure that the jets don't cause any plume impingement or thruster firings toward the telescope as the orbiter back.
Well, I really expect it to look clean and bright and be in a pretty healthy state. I don't really think that there's going to be any evidence of anything going wrong. There's been a lot of talk about the solar arrays, and in fact, our analytical projections will show that we expect the supporting bistems to be bowed, and not everybody knows this. So some people see it for the first time. They may be surprised, but we're not surprised. We know that that's going to be the case. So we hope it looks pretty much like it did on the deployment mission. I really don't think visually you'll be able to see anything. Most of the work we're doing is the flaws are microscopic in nature and buried deep inside the telescope, so we won't be able to see it. We expect to see a nice clean machine.
Yeah, is the problem. Okay, and if you and so this is the sun, right? So that's problem one. The reverse terminator, there is no delta T because you're immersing it in cold. There's nothing but albedo. I mean, if you talk about albedo,
but there's a delta T because the two ice sands now have achieved an equilibrium temperature that's different.
No. They basically it settles out. It turns out it settles out at the same temperature. Yeah. So
It actually is enough to conduct.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's higher than the radiation.
Yeah, it's just the time it takes to get there is the only problem.
Everybody I've asked.
It takes about 5 minutes. It equalizes. The reason it pops later is there's rollers at the end that are bound. Right.
But it's still got to be a differential expansion between that and these are on the light sheet.
That's right. Yeah, but that's taken up by the rollers. That's what the whole roller system is for, the compensator system. It's got basically springs at one end with pulleys that can expand and contract, and then at the other end it's got the drum.
If these arrays are straight, we don't just leave them on.
No. I'll tell you what, if they're straight and there's no jitter, we should, because we don't understand anything about engineering. I don't disagree with you if they're straight.
We're going to do whip pick on day 2 now. Sudden change of
That's it, change the plan.
No, I think if the arrays are straight, we also have an equal chance that there is no such thing as spherical aberration. The universe is aberrated, and we're going to be correcting for it.
Actually, all those stars we've been looking at really are blurry.
That's a good thing about
they all have fuzz around
there being an error.
I can remember when in 1973 when I was with Grumman, we were studying space telescope, and my job was to develop the manufacturing, integration, and test kind of flow of the thing and all that. And I always thought at that time you should have a backup mirror, because if you ever got into environmental test and cracked the mirror because your suspension system, it took 3 years to build a new mirror, so you always should have a backup. And then later on I became to understand the system, and I said, no, the easier way was if the mirror cracked, you would convince the world that the universe was cracked after.
Okay. Now they corrected that. Okay, when we get some pictures here.
As soon as they get to station keeping, and about an hour or so before capture, which will be about 2 hours to grapple. But when they get into
setting,
that's a little picture of our close to any transition.
Rigid eyes, close, and kept.
What's the time now?
123.
We should be in the dark right now.
In the middle of it.
Joe, did that
just getting ready to go in the dark. Pardon me?
Did that get updated for the new launch site?
Yes.
All right.
Fantastic.
Tell the crew to calm down. They're too excited.
Yay. Yeah, right. Now we want a picture. Now you don't need the radar anymore. You're right. How do we know you're not out there lollygagging around?
Yeah,
Right?
come on, I want to see the proof. Oops.
HST Goddard, HST project. I presume you all copied that they just captured.
Send pictures of the radar.
They can't. They got to get the
Oh, it's a new thing.
Hi, Mike. Joe Rothenberg. Okay, what do you need? Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, it doesn't go back until 6 in the morning, though.
It's right here.
What's that?
But it almost looks like it's this top parallel with that. Yeah.
That's really going to look dramatic when it comes into sunlight.
Look at that right array.
Yeah, it looks spent.
Right.
It looks spent.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. I keep pointing to this. See, it looks...
Couldn't be better for ease of... That panel, if you look at the bar coming out and look at the bottom, it looks kilted. No.
Yeah.
Look on the left. Look at the left
This
panel.
one here?
Right. Look at that angle versus the angle of the...
Top of the right.
Right.
Yeah, well, so does the top right one. It's hard to tell, you know.
Could be foreshortening, but it does look like it's... it could be bent out like this.
Yeah, there's no reason there's no reason to expect it might not be bent just to be
The
bent
right-hand
anyway.
edge of the cylinder of the
There's PJ.
Hey, Whites. Yeah, I'm kidding when he comes in.
On that
light
shot,
stem.
yeah.
Morning shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
If that doesn't look like it's flattening, you know, where you're picking up
Yeah, you
more
have to
light.
pass
those are
it.
rays.
Clear the
I
fast.
like those arrays.
It looks like propeller blade.
Yeah, right. I guess that proves why we want to change out the arrays.
Be interested to see what they do in the daylight, I guess.
That particular view doesn't show this Boeing because it's in the plane of the...
That's right.
On the other hand, about the same time, Dave's doing the briefing Sunday, so it should be right after that. And as early as you can in the morning for application. Right.
I'll work a little bit with how to use it.
That's it.
I'll do it. Give it to Dave.
Well done to you.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
If he needs any help,
Have at it tonight, guys.
Looking for a good one.
Yes, sir.
I'll go over here and do that for a minute.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Dave.
This is the real time. What?
No.
Real time video. You need as well as
That's real
we're
time.
getting wing movement now. The snow.
It's very important that these doors get closed. There's a light seal all around the edge of the door. It's very important to keep stray light out of the optical scientific instrument end of the telescope.
I don't know whether it broke or whether it backed out.
Because I kept connecting the pitch and the screw in the same as the bolt.
Well, it's not a left-hand
They're going
thread,
to try
so put it
putting it
back
back
down.
together.
What's the screw size? Like 8 or 10?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably a 32
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah, and they put 23 foot-pounds on it.
So there's a good chance it broke.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear him describe
See,
it.
this is a picture. This is a drawing of it. And that screw that you see right there is threaded into that end of the bolt. And of course, when this is threaded out, of course, you just screwed it right out.
Door still or closing?
Oh, yeah. You enjoyed that? Westwick has that space.
Right, Westwick couldn't have that plan.
Nice.
Way to go.
God.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually 10 fittings to align in order to get the doors to close. There's 4 of these V guides, then there's the 4 latches, as well as 2 others, one on the top and one on the bottom, perpendicular. It wasn't just the latches that we, like the ones that we got from Tom. There was also these V guides that you had to align.
Yeah, who designed that?
We do that, and that'll be a super day. It's a super day so far. I mean, so that wouldn't be quite enough time to make it 6 o'clock.
No, what we're going to do is hold off until about 6:30 and then maybe.
This, I'd almost rather go do it now.
And talk about the 6
Talk about the
declare
success.
success.
Have they finished it?
And then worry about the solar rays tomorrow.
What'd you get to do?
Does that mean this is okay since you and he talked? Oh.
Bye-bye. This is going to be national news, too. Look at that thing.
That doesn't look too crumpled right now, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Like a biplane.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
You can see it there. There's the infamous kink.
Wait a second, it's got a message to Mars Observer.
cover of Time magazine.
Exactly. That picture with KT holding it.
How's it going from your point of view back here?
Wonderfully. I mean, I just hope it keeps going at this this rate. If we can have another EVA day like we did the first, and it looks like we're halfway there, we'll be well on our way to having a very, very successfully completed mission. So, in fact, I remember after the first day saying that if we could just have 2 more like today, we'd be sure of great science.
Yeah.
So it looks great. We're damn. Okay. I mean, it's on and it's going. I have no idea how many molecules that represents. But still, if you get something like that, why would you have to do a shot?
Hi, Ron. There's
Can't imagine what you would get with it over.
Who's doing it?
John Holland.
Who?
Holloman.
Very fatiguing over a period of 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. The other aspect that people probably don't think about or realize so much is that you're mentally fatigued when you come inside of a spacewalk also, because you're always thinking about where their tools are, where their tethers are, so you don't get wrapped around each other.
To show when the array is in the latch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's seated,
yes,
ready to latch.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. So I made a recommendation to the Lockheed engineers and discussed it with them, years ago, and they invented this little modification, if you like. And what it is a means of protecting the micro switches as the array is installed. Mm-hmm. But it's got 2 positions. It's got a sort of a back position and a forward position. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
can the micro switch operate with that in place if it's in one of these positions?
Well, I think I'm not sure if they're still functioning, but it certainly protects them.
Acoustic. Okay. Here we have this thing. We just stop this one. So this is about a minute. So it's not and this is
well, it doesn't make much difference, I don't think, because the aperture door has a hole about 2 inches around.
Yeah, but if you open it,
yeah, it'd be, have a hole of 3.4 meters, right?
That's true. But it is a million times larger. Yeah, I know, or something, or 10,000 times. Oh yeah, that's clear. Oops. You know why they have to bend the arrays to put them in here? Is because they did in the carriers. Is because they did all of the work with the analysis work with the arrays in this configuration, because this is the launch configuration. Mm-hmm. And they didn't want to redo the analysis and redo the work for this particular carrier. Right.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, I don't know. They should have. All that could happen is that they wouldn't, that they didn't, right? As far as I know, they never tried.
How long have you been involved in this project?
Oh, I've been involved in this project for about 18 years now. Yeah. Time heals. Absolutely. Well, it didn't take long for us to heal, but it was a lot of work to make it work. Yeah, and good alignment.
How does it feel seeing these repairs being made now? Is it?
It's outstanding. It's absolutely fantastic to see that how professional they are, how everything is coming together, and we certainly look forward to a successful completion of this mission, so we can begin doing our science.
Somebody put these upside down.
2 days. One of the reporters asked the question, well, what does this do for the milkman in Milwaukee? And it wasn't me that the question was asked of, and the answer was basically that the milkman in Milwaukee and all the rest of us learned about the universe in a way that we couldn't learn without the Hubble Space Telescope. And that's really, it's a little hard to tell a guy that what he's doing is directly related to space. On the other hand, the more we understand space, the better we can understand our world and how best to take advantage of the limited resources we have in our world.
Congratulations on your position here.
Rob, have we settled in on that power thing yet, or is Kelly still fussing?
They haven't decided on the
Structure current?
They're still feverishly working on it.
Yeah.
You think that'll slow them down?
Sure, I'm just.
They've been 50 minutes ahead now for a long time.
40 minutes about half an hour ago, so yeah, they're picking up 10 minutes.
They're doing good.
Yeah.
They get that thing on the
Take
rails.
all the time in the road. Just keep those rails.
Tom, can I have a pretzel, please? Thank you. Find something in there, thank you. Rough.
Jan Ruff.
Jan Ruff.
She's the
Oh,
head of the
PAO.
PAO.
No, you're seeing the arm in the part of it. You see the arms in the way. You can't see the front part of the site.
Right.
That's where COSTAR is
Now, it
actually.
looks like it's moving to me, but.
That's because the top of the whip pick site lays back
Oh.
over there, so it could be moving.
Flapping or something.
Somebody bumped it.
It's flapping in the solar.
Yeah. Oh, instead of 2000.
All right, let's do it, fellas.
It's more or less protected by the structures. It's more or less protected by the structures.
Rails or whatever.
Yeah.
Look like it worked on the back.
It's just like sliding a big drawer in one guy on each side.
You just don't want to hang up.
Just don't want it to get cocked.
Right.
Yeah. That's fine. Those micro switches aren't that precise. Wow. So we're engaged. That's the important part.
We are engaged. 23 turns. Good procedure, team.
Just don't do the white glove test on it.
We all agree with that.
10 minutes to daytime.
I vote for seeing the outdoor users in some particular lobbies.
I think it would be really interesting to get the filters out.
Oh, I think it's critical. Yeah. Well, I already told him that 3 or 4 times.
It's your vote, huh?
He's forgetting.
No, we remembered in the gist. We wouldn't throw it out the door.
Yeah. But those filters have undoubtedly changed in orbit. And we need to think about it.
Yes, I just want to make sure when we do start.
Here comes the blind lead, right?
Did he move over?
Yeah. Let's flip and see if we can see the lines here.
Blind lead's actually
After the ground chest.
It's coming up.
Yeah, the idea is they make sure they don't have a.
And then we turn on.
After the ground strap, then we power up.
Bet you there'll be some shares in the stock if that thing comes up.
From the connector they were talking about. It's just that, just remember, when the power comes on, the 2.5-year warranty starts.
When do we know we have a camera? This alignment test tells us we've got a...
Well, the alignment test and then...
the functional, that's 3 hours later.
Yeah. Well, we know we got a plug, we know we don't have any shorts and things like that in the alignment test.
Oh, well, then let me be the first thing. Thank you for all the work.
Thank you. It's working.
Right here.
So, John, was it worth all the hassles I gave you for the last 8 years? I told you it'd be worth it. Well, it's not over till the fat lady sings, John. You got to take that first image, right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. When we have a good idea on the functional test,
Yeah,
you think?
I'm trying to think.
Results of the functional.
I know where all these people are when they're at work, but I don't know where they're at when they're at play.
Okay. Okay, when will that occur, do you know?
Oh, that's a good idea.
10:30 a.m.? That's what is...
It's Diane. It's Diane.
Okay. So that's 10:30 a.m. our time today? What's
9 hours from now.
Tuesday? Tuesday, who knows, yeah. Okay, must be Tuesday. Okay. Yeah. No, congratulations to you, John. We only tried to cancel you a couple times. Yeah, well, John, you deserve a hug when I see you next time. All right. Joe Rothenberg wants to say something to you. And I'll catch up with you when Dave and I and everybody gets back next week.
Must have failed along the edges, and the whole thing just kind of
But
flaked off.
the sides are more like a heavy aluminum foil, so it's not very strong. It's probably easy to peel it off.
So
Anyway, it must have fractured on seams because it seemed to come away in whole pieces.
Right.
He said it had markings on
Yeah, he said it had a Y and a Z
See,
on it.
if you look at that, you can see the 1 and 2. See
Yeah.
that? 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we'll have to use it when the cover came.
Sounds like, and there's silk screen under the paint, and it sounds like that came off as a whole piece. The silk screen under the paint and just came off of the aluminum surface of the housing. The aluminum housing is one piece, very thin, and there's foam inside it. There's pot in it.
It's hard foam.
So the crew put it in the trash bag. They're going to take it into the cabin with them, and they're going to show it to us on the downlink.
But the aluminum cover is still on?
We don't know.
Oh, you don't know that?
We can't tell from the pictures we have right now because of the glare. They took ESC shots and they're downlinking them, and we're going to go get the high-quality prints. We use that hardware, we won't need those pouches. I've got several places. We identified this pre-flight in case something like this happened. But we could go grab blankets and covers.
There's several places to put our blanket.
Several places.
This is like the mirror in the wide field camera that's used to correct for the spherical aberration in Hubble. And it's done by putting the same error on this mirror that exists on the Hubble mirror, only with the opposite sign. So the result is that after having the optical image distorted by the primary mirror, the distortion is removed by this secondary mirror. And the result is that you get a good clear image at the end. One more look.
So the first level of concern is if there are other people in the paint that are going to come over. Make sure that the second layer of concern, if it's the aluminum, the internal part of the sensor is pockets.
feel about the results today's work?
Well, it's 3 EVAs in a row with great success. So one half of you feels pretty good that the EVAs have gone well, but you still have to have some reservations, you know, because all we know about the wide field camera right now is that it draws current, which is good. It doesn't have any shorts or anything like that, but we don't get the full functional test until 10 o'clock this morning, 5 hours from now. So that'll tell us whether it functions as a camera. But even that won't tell us if it fixes the flaw in the mirror. We won't know that for 6 or 8 weeks. So I guess we can wait, but obviously these are major steps forward. I mean, right now we have a camera in the telescope that potentially will fix half of the spherical aberration problem, in the sense that it'll enable half of the science that we haven't been able to do to be done. At the end of the EVA, you're feeling pretty good. But then when you get home and start lying in bed, looking up at the ceiling, not being able to sleep, you start thinking about the problems that might occur the next day. So it's like a sine wave, up and down, up and down. Hopefully the function will end on the up note in about 2 or 3 days.
It's somewhat like those blobs of light that ground-based astronomers see, 2 Hubble. But with the corrected Hubble, we're going to go back and look at that again, and we think we have a good chance of resolving the tail and bringing out what's there in these much more distant galaxies. So now we'll be looking at epoch 7 to 10 billion years ago. And then that's the way it works. You see, you Hubble's a time machine. Get rid of this.
Put your compound in there. So you've got something that's going to adhere to the box, and then if you were to take the sides off, you'd see the adhesive and remnants of the
HST EVA Systems Manager cord. It's MT 200 right now. Yes. We're having a Tiger team. It's hooked in from down. Not yet.
Where's the interface of what they the crew put on? This is the old batch.
Celebration and all. So yeah, I think first and foremost on everyone's mind is that we still have a long way to go. We've got 2 spacewalks, one which we're about an hour away from beginning, the 4th one that lie ahead, as well as the reboost of the telescope, the deploy of it, and then bringing Endeavour and the crew safely home. Everyone is pleased with the success that we've had so far, and I think it's given everybody a reassurance, and we've hit our rhythm, reassurance that the flexibility that was built into this flight and the planning and training and in the operation of it was right on target. But we still have a long way to go, and everyone, first and foremost, is taking things one day at a time.
Wow. The black area was the optical bench. Yeah, you're right.
Got an optically fixed observatory, guys.
Let me shake your hand.
All right. Wally? Yes.
Congratulations.
Paul does it again, huh?
Yeah. Natural.
Now, when does your warranty start?
Yes, complete observatory. That's right. Right out.
Okay, and we start charging for power now, as we told Larry Simmons.
Fantastic. I didn't realize we actually checked.
We've got an optically fixed observatory.
Yeah. Well.
Can we go home now? Those yellow.
This is fantastic. With the this repair, we really have all the instruments now. Wow.
Well, I have to keep waiting to wake up.
They told me all that they could say is maybe the attitude of the orbiter was blocking
2 more days.
Except for they're struggling with the door on the first EVA. There has been another single identifiable problem.
That wasn't much of a problem either. It's just getting out of seat. I know I have time closing my car door sometimes.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've lost it in the middle.
In the functional test, we deploy at 2 inches.
Yeah, what is that?
And that takes place while the crew is asleep. I'll have to look at the SMIT to get the exact time.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But it's an hour and a half test. But it's a pretty good test. It checks heaters and power, relays, commands, but it also checks the tilt sensors and the DOB strain gauge. It does actually move the DOB 2 inches.
How do you feel at this point, David?
I think I've rounded third base and I'm starting my slide into home plate for the inside the park home run we've hit on this mission. It's just a tremendous thrill to have gotten whiff pick 2 in yesterday and COSTAR in successfully today, and to find ourselves now in the position that we have a complete observatory. We still have to do all the optical work to align these instruments and check them out fully to make sure they're going to do everything they're supposed to do. But right now it's looking very, very good that we've accomplished all we needed to accomplish for the optical correction of HST. And that's good news for astronomy. And it's good news for NASA to get over this little episode in our history.
Be inside the cavity that the door is covering, but in the engineers that designed Hubble in anticipation of EVA tasks have mounted the units, the electronics, in many cases on the inside of the door, so when the door is opened, the electronics swing out and are presented directly to the EVA crew member, thus making access a little bit easier. And Story was mentioning the black box that he's currently changing out, the solar array drive electronics unit, the first one. In this case, there's a connector, electronic connector, much like an RS-232 connector is connected to a computer that is close to the door side of the box, and he is having trouble getting the little tool on there or having access to it. So what he's about to do is then unmount the electronics box from the door, and then he can get his hand fully around the connector and demate it from the box.
Two or three. Only 3 sets.
Could have put some more instruments in this baby.
Hey, Joe.
We've opened all 3 sets of doors.
Crowd's got a lot of TV time.
Don't do that.
This must be, well, if Story weren't outside, I'd say this is him operating the camera. Exploratory nature.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, they got that's coverage within coverage.
Somehow or other, Derek, we've been here before.
They're just limit straps, and
Look,
you can see the springs are very much smaller now.
and look at those thermal shields on the bi-stems. I like that.
Hey. Yes, the bi-stem sure look different.
Yes. I think it's a new color scheme too, isn't it, Derek? Aren't these a little...
Here comes the ESA signal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all we need to do is see a middle of the array. There's a little bit about one. Maybe that's one and a bit. That's one. Yeah, just the one.
Delivered by Derek Eaton. Needed Joe.
Then you've had it deployed a little faster.
No, we want to keep you in suspense.
Which one is this, the minus or the plus, Eric?
This is the minus?
They used to do minus first, but I'm not sure. You can't, unless you know the whole design of the space.
Did I hear a call that they were getting current on the spa?
I don't remember the light.
From over there.
In fact, I liked your presentation yesterday on the TV. I saw you on CNN. It was very good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Well, I think we may have a bit of a future here now.
Now we have to make sure that it's a brand new telescope. Everything has been changed more or less.
Yes.
So you have to be sure you understand it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and we've got to get the optics aligned and get some images, and that's the final step. Really. But it's,
remarkable.
yes, to have gone this flawlessly is.
We all needed that, in fact. Not only the astronomers, but NASA, ESA, really the success of that.
And this has gotten so much attention in the public. It's just amazing. And
surprising.
congratulations.
Well, thank you. This is really, it's incredible. You know, it's almost outrageous. The successes, one after the other.
Yes.
Everything worked the first time, and it's amazing.
And we had one. We thought we had a problem this afternoon, and even that went away after a few hours. It was a miracle.
Pardon me, there's some place in the system we had a transient short. I'm sure it'll bite us as a relay failure later, but there's nothing we can do about it.
And we'll work around it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect there may be another one of the trim relays, and this is the same signature, and if it is, 3 out of 18 is not going to hurt us, even if they were all in the same spot, it wouldn't hurt us. We haven't.
Two isolators, just one spot, one VIs.
Did they have that as the one that occurred 3 days ago? Yeah, they're unrelated. They isolated that very specifically to the spot, to a short on the spot.
That was a voltage spike, I think, to the
I believe that there was wire shorting to structure on the spot that had been previously damaged. That was separate, and I believe that thing is now in orbit separately at the other array. And it was the problem was jettisoned with the array.
Right, yeah, we've got the third percent pick, so we've got another 90 minutes with no problem at all. So with very minimal impact on anybody.
Go ahead.
JJ's going to ask us Monday, we'll discuss any failures that they want to talk about.
We haven't seen the short.
Yes, some relays that get enabled with the solar activity.
Yes, but that we haven't seen.
But you would hopefully get the response. Well, no, it doesn't make any difference whether it's 3 now or day.
Pins, maybe it's a bent pin, I don't know. You know, if we can isolate it to something, like the solar rays causing it, or the SADI or whatever, the coprocessor, it could be any of those, then at least we could have them checked to make sure that all the connections are proper, there's no bent pins, there's no crimped wires. You can't do that once you deploy it. I don't know that we want to do that, but, you know, that's...
Thinking about coming back a day early. I know that was
Well, that's the thought at the moment, but they're not through looking at it. They switched to the B side of the dark, and spent 5 minutes there and switched back. And now they're discussing the data looks clean. They're discussing whether to switch back over to B and how long to stay on it. Whether or not we need to look at more data before we deploy.
Thank you very much. Oh, Rosie.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Still got a few weeks to go, but.
Ken?
Super job. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm so good job.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Good job. Great job, guys. Great job. We got some.
Actually, it's kind of good that everybody doesn't have the right work.
Not moving, right?
David, how do you feel seeing a telescope move off into space?
I'm absolutely breathless. It's the most visually beautiful thing I think I've ever seen, and it makes me think of what the near future is going to hold for us and for astronomy. And it makes me really proud of NASA, and really proud of this country to actually be able to create something like this that's so special and unique in the history of mankind.
Well, you're welcome.